Hi there, this is a tutorial for Sprout, a web application that tracks the progress of special education students. I'm going to be logging in as a regular teacher and user of Sprout and get right to things. I'm logged in as a case manager who is someone who basically overlooks a group of special education students. Sprout is heavily focused on students, and so when I first log in, I'm taken to my focus page. This is where I can see a few students that I want to pay special attention to. Maybe they've been acting up lately. If I want to remove or add students, I can do it like so. And I've been hearing a lot about Allie lately, so I'm going to move her to the top because I'm sure that we'll be visiting her student profile more often than the other students. Sprout also provides a way to view all of my students as well as how I'm associated with them. And if I click on Allie's name, I'll be taken to her student overview page. I can also do this by using this nifty search bar. I've been viewing Allie a lot recently, so that's why she's at the top of the list of students. This search bar also returns results for student pages and other pages. So if I type in something like JB, I'll get Jack Brooks as well as his behavior page. When I logged in, you might have also seen notifications. Sprout generates notifications for things like abnormal test scores, birthdays, and IEP goals. Okay, we're here on Allie's student overview page. This is where we can view some general information as well as her class schedule. Here's the test scores page. Here we can view all of Allie's scores for a standardized test. If we'd like to edit these scores, add them or delete them, this is where we would do it. If we'd like to view a larger range of her test scores, we can do it like so. Moving on to Allie's page, Allie's grades page. Sprout imports grades from a learning management system. So you can view easily how Allie has been doing in her classes. You can view her grades on her assignments as well as their completion. You do this for any class that she's enrolled in. Attendance is similar. It pulls all of these records from a learning management system. And here you can briefly see what classes Allie has been missing, as well as her attendance records by type, and below that is her calendar. This makes it easy for me to see what days and what classes Allie has been absent or tardy in. Moving on to behaviors. So Allie has a behavior service, and I am her case manager. The middle school that we're making this for, Centennial Middle School, has teachers write behavior and effort scores for a student in their class every day if they have a behavior service. But since I am her case manager, I have to input these scores. I can do so just by doing this. If you don't see this drop down, it's because of the screen recording. Here's the drop down of numbers 0 through 5. I'm going to click on 5, and if you look at the graph on the left, it will update. This has automatically been saved to the database. I can also generate reports on this page. Again, you can't see the drop down, but we have average, all classes, and all of her individual classes. So I'm going to select average, and this is an average of all of her scores in each class. This will generate a PDF that you could, for example, give to her parents to see how she's been doing in her classes. On to the IEP tab. IEPs are individualized education plans, and you can set individual goals for students and track them. So you can see I can edit here, or add measurements or notes. As for services, service requirements are when a student needs special services and they need to be cataloged and tracked to ensure that they're taken care of. Here I can edit the service, I can fulfill it, and I can easily fulfill it by clicking this button. That's all for the student tabs, which is the majority of Sprout. On to input. This makes it easier for a teacher like me to input things for multiple students. It's a little bit hard to see here because Allie is the only student with a behavior record. But if you go to test, I can see all these students and input scores for all of them instead of going to each page. The reports tab is for generating reports similar to what you saw on the behavior page. This, for example, lets me see all the students who have taken or not taken this test on this date. And I can do something similar for services. Say I want to see all of my students who have an academic support service, and whether they're fulfilled or unfulfilled, I can generate a report and print that out. We have settings where every user can edit their own information and change the password. And very quickly, I'm going to log in as an admin. And admins have quite a bit more power in our app. They also have access to several pages that a normal user doesn't. One, for example, is the Manage page, the Case Managers page in particular. This makes it easy for me to move students around between case managers and basically see which case managers look over which students. These teachers, students, and classes tabs are useful for someone who maybe can't integrate with their learning management system. Here I can create teachers, edit them, and delete them. This is also where I grant them access or reset the password. And I can do similar things for students. For the classes page in particular, I can select a class. If I wanted to change a teacher, I could do that. Jackson here. Yeah, like so. This is also where I would enroll and unenroll students for a class. And I haven't touched on this yet, but we have filters throughout the app. So if I wanted to filter by Jackson, for example, I could, or if I wanted to filter by a class title like English, I could also do that. The last page is school settings. I'm an admin, so I have access to this. This is where you would set up your school for Sprout. You can input things like this. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy Sprout.